Good morning, Cougar Joe students. Today is the last day of our class week, Thursday, April 1st, and we are no fools for being here and training today. And before you get started with your lesson, of course, you're going to watch this video, but I'd like for you to come back to this slide and get some inspiration from what happens in this video. In this video, this is from the Karate Kid. Mr. Miyagi, who is the founder of the Miyagi-Do, or he's kind of our mentor for Cougar Joe, sees what the sensei for Cobra Kai is doing to his student, and he gets involved because he's stopping the bully, the Cobra Kai sensei, from being victorious. And in the same way, the Cobra Star test has no mercy. It does not do what's fair or what's right. But still, just like Mr. Miyagi illustrates in this video, if we keep calm and we remember our training, we stay persistent and don't give up, then just like Mr. Miyagi, we will be victorious. So, brief video, it's 2 minutes. Take a look at it, be inspired before you begin your actual training activities. I sent out an email yesterday to you and to your parents that explains what's going to happen, as far as I know, for testing on April 6th. So make sure you read it, and then you let me know if you have questions, or let Ms. Kostenbader, who is the testing coordinator, know of any particular questions that were not answered in that email. This morning, we're going to cover a reminder that if you want to ask me some questions individually and want to conference about your essay, which I encourage you to do, please make sure you sign up for a conferencing session. Now, what it will do, if you click on this link, it will take you to the Sign Up Genius and show you how to sign up. So you have to click on the sign up button, and then they'll ask for your email. Okay, so these are ones that happened yesterday from 12 to 1. Then no one signed up. Like someone signed up for 3 o'clock yesterday, but they weren't there because I was there. So Cameron, hopefully you're coming. She signed up to the right one. So she's coming today at 12. We have some other people who are signed up to come from my 12 to 1 p.m. Section. Some people who are signed up for the 3 to 4. 2 people at a time can sign up, and we will discuss your essay and also any other questions that you have. So I encourage you to do that so you can get some feedback on your essay, so that you can make sure that you're prepared. Because remember, the essay counts for 16 points. You need to have at least 38. There are 18 points available on the revising and editing multiple choice, and then 34 multiple choice reading questions. So today we're going to focus on 2 strategies that will be helpful to you as you complete the reading sections of the test, and that is to remind you about annotating and how it can keep you involved and help you understand the text better, and also how understanding sensory language can help you on those multiple choice reading selections, especially the literary text. Okay, you will have 2 informational text pieces and 2 literary fiction texts. So let's take a look at our annotation guide. We did an annotation guide at the beginning of the year in our foundational reading section, and I asked you to use a certain color and to highlight certain things. And you're only going to probably have 1 or 2 colors of highlighter, but I encourage you to use those. But also to write notes. Okay, so annotating simply means take notes. So this reading strategy forces you to get involved in the text. And if you will do that, then you are going to understand the text better, and it will be easier for you to focus on the passage. So what should you annotate? Remember, any kind of phrase or sentence that creates a picture in your head, what do you see? Write out to the side what it is that you actually see so that you can picture the scene, and it will help you stay involved into the setting. Also, mark sentences that remind you of something outside of the story. What kind of text connections can you make? Does it remind you of a friend? Does it remind you of a movie that you've seen? Does it cause you to think of it as something that's happened to you before? Anything that you have questions about, write it down as you go, because hopefully you want to find answers to those questions as you continue to read. Mark aha moments for you or for the character when you finally realize something about a character, like you know what they're really like, or when the character realizes something about himself or another character. Mark vocabulary words that are unfamiliar or repeated. Think about what you think it might mean in that context, and then don't forget you can use that dictionary to look it up. Especially if you see something repeated, you want to mark it. And then signposts. That means any important detail about the setting, the characters, or the conflicts. Mark those as you go. And if you will annotate the text, I have found that in 100% of the cases, that those people who mark the text as they read do better on the multiple choice questions, because they've already basically thought about what those questions might be before they even get to them. Don't try to be like some people and not read the passage. On the EOC test, you will not be able to do well if you do not read carefully and go back and reread the reading passages. So, and the next part of the test that's helpful is understanding sensory language. So if you understand that sensory language is a form of descriptive writing used in literary text that focuses on using the 5 senses. It often will contain imagery that appeals to your senses. And you'll see questions like this. You see these two here? The author uses descriptive examples in the paragraph to do what? So what does the description cause you to do? Does it emphasize, a particular idea? Does it show the difference between two things? Does it show the power of something? Okay, what is the reason that they use that descriptive example? Then maybe they'll ask you, the author uses similes at the end of the paragraph. What reason do they use those similes? So that's where you've got to be able to think about what does the image create in your head so that you can choose the best answer. So before you get started on your training activity, I would suggest that you review these common figurative terms that are used in literary text and make sure that you can identify them. Okay, yes, you can use your dictionary, but it helps you to already remind yourself of what these terms are. You could even print these out and make yourself little flashcards for these. So reviewing all these terms, and then I added, so you'll see the ones that are in color, those are ones that were already, that I'd already had, but I added all of these that are in black and white because these are terms that I have found specifically on the test. Imagery, repetition, tone, and then theme, knowing that that's a general statement, a universal message, meaning it can apply to anyone, anytime, anywhere about life. Irony, the contrast between what's expected and what actually happens or what is reality. And then point of view, who is telling or narrating the story. So these terms have been found specifically on the test. As a matter of fact, I can show you right here. This is from the 2019 test. And so after the literary text, reading this literary text here, you see, like, what does the point of view used in the excerpt help the reader understand? How is the first sentence of the excerpt important to the plot? Now, knowing that term, plot, the events of the story. And then you have to read the quotation. The irony of this quotation is that it calls attention to, so you have to know irony. What is the central theme? So knowing those terms are going to be very helpful. If you're reading, this one's a poem. What is the theme of the poem? and what tone is established. So those are all terms that I've found on the test, and it's helpful to know those. Okay, so remember what we're doing, signing up for EOC Q&A conferencing. Make sure you review this annotation guide, because I'm going to ask you to do that today in our training activity. And the training activity is about sensory language. Okay, so let's go ahead and go into our Schoology lesson. So EOC Training Camp, reading literary text, multiple choice questions. Okay, we're going to look at strategies such as annotating text and identifying figurative language to prepare you for the English 1 EOC. So if you're viewing the video now, and your practice set is to complete the sensory language practice activity and complete the attendance question. Here are the lesson slides, and I'll add what slide we started on for today. And here's the practice it activity. Just follow the directions and the highlights. And then the attendance question, don't forget to do that. Once you've completed your practice it, you can check your answers here. Don't do that. I mean, yes, you technically could. You could cheat and do that, but you're really just cheating yourself, because I'm giving you points for completion, but I want you to see if you can do it first without looking at the answers. And then if you forgot what to annotate, you can look at this reading annotation guide to help you. All right, I've already gone 11 minutes. Good luck today on your training, and I look forward to seeing some of you at our conferences today. So there are still spots open for you to sign up for the conference, and that's from 12 to 1 today and from 3 to 4 today. Have a blessed day.